Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to week 18 of the 2021-2022 PGA season, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. We are coming off another exciting week. Obviously, I love the Honda, one of my favorite tournaments to go to by far. Enjoy it. I enjoy the embrace it, I guess. Some people either you don't like it or you do. For the guys that get tired of the nonstop birdie fest, it's a little bit of a change up. We even saw, 5-shot lead get blown, yesterday, which can happen at that course. If anywhere it's going to, that's going to be one that leads can shrink quickly, as we saw. Great finish, great Sunday. API, I like it as well. I think depending on the winds, which looks like as the week goes along, we might see some strong winds. You can get some of that here too. We saw a couple years ago when Hatton won it at 4 under. You get those, the water comes much more in play when the winds are blowing for sure. And then we're, next week, the TPC first, the Players Championship, 5th major, some people, if you will. DraftKings certainly has in the last couple of years treated it as such. And we have some big contests up already in the contest selection for next week, but we have plenty of good ones this week. Some new ones. I saw they're calling it a leaderboard. I don't know if there's gonna be some kind of promo or not, but I saw like a 222 instead of the 200, a $40 single entry. I think a $6 single entry that was pretty big. So go check those out if you haven't. Recap last week real quick, and then we will move on to the API. DFS for me was good. I can't complain too much. I got two more $2,222 tickets for next week's Millie Maker. That gives me 6. I'm someone DM me, asked me how much I was in. I'm in about, I had it up last night, I think just under 500 now, which normally it wouldn't be that much. But once the first out the gate 2 weeks ago, you get 4. I obviously delegate a little more bankroll now to, you get 4, you want to kind of go up there. At one point yesterday, I think I was winning 7 or 8 of them. So a 3X week for me overall, but the Berger collapse definitely hurt. He was in my lineup. One point was up well into the 5 figures, 25, 30,000. And really survived the early carnage. Actually it's one of the reasons why I was making a run had a 6-6, of course. It was in my, it's one of my top 3 lineups on the week. Not my single bullet, but another one. And I had Cam Young go out early, shot the round of the day. I think 5 under was the best. Woodland was out ahead of them a little bit. He climbed. Smalley, I think, shot +1, but nothing that hurt him. I don't remember who else had Ryder in there. He finished, pretty decent. So everything was going that way, and then it was just the ultimate collapse by Berger that, in that type of contest where there's not a lot of scoring, him dropping from 1st to 4th at the end of the day with the positioning points there on the main slate was just a killer. I can't be too mad. Like I said, it was 3X week, 2 more tickets. I'll take it. We're rolling this week. And I had the outright, right? So thought we were going to go back-to-back with outrights with Neiman and then Berger. Didn't get that done. Didn't really feel like betting anybody like a hedge or a live because, there were so many outside. If he did fall back, it wasn't like a clear cut. I probably would have actually thought Lowry. I don't know if I'd have got the Straka because I don't think I could have trusted Straka, on that Sunday. So there was a ton of guys there at 5 and 6 under, if Berger was going to bring them into play. So I just kind of let it roll. I didn't have much. I think matchups, I know the full tournaments did well. I hadn't got to that point yet. It's Monday evening here, getting this knocked out. trying to get back on that old schedule of Mondays for the Smash. You know, I can't do it early, obviously, because we got to wait for pricing and then wrap up work and all that. So try to do it, you know, Monday evenings are really early Tuesday this week, able to do it this Monday evening. Had Woodland too. You know, he never really was a threat. I guess he could have, you know, he bogeyed 18, but I guess he could have eagled and would have got to 7. Which at the time you still didn't feel like that was going to be good enough. You know, he was 66-1. I didn't T5 it or anything. So, some sweats up there for sure. The burger collapse, definitely not ideal when you go, 6 holes and you've given it all back. You're 4 over, you double the par 3, which I thought, cause in my head, I thought if he shoots +1 or better, I thought he was going to win it. You know, and that, you know, I think +1, he would have wound up getting into the playoff with Straka, both at 10. And that's what I kind of thought would have been worst case scenario. I figured he's going to shoot even, -1. I figured he'd start out, you know, 1 or 2 under with those easy holes starting out, especially the par 5 on number 3. And then that kind of puts everybody, even if they did start well, they're still like, oh man, he's at 13 now or something like that, and made it hard to go catch him. But obviously he went the opposite way on that and just didn't finish our way. Some shout outs. Jenny Wap took 6th in the 20 max birdie. I think he had 18 of his 20 lineups cashed. He turned $82 on the week into almost 1,300. Pepper, a new member, joined 3 weeks ago, says he's had 3 straight weeks of green screens. He turned $29 into 230. That's awesome. North Pole, he took down, it looked like a FanDuel contest for $200. Then some other guy, I'll shout out the team a little bit. Tommy Z's on fire in MMA, 20-3 the last 2 weeks. He went 11-1 and 9-2 the last 2 weeks. Big UFC card this weekend. Big pots out there. Already saw those rolling up. NASCAR's, you know, everybody's trying to learn these new cars, and that certainly has an effect on fantasy and betting and all that. But Jimbo and Ryan are doing a great job. Ryan leading it up over there. Jimbo taking on trucks and Xfinity this week, but they both work together well. That channel's fun to get into, and I'm a very newbie, but I mentioned it was my second most profitable sport last year, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can and following their guide. NBA is rolling again, all past they're going down the stretch now, heading towards the playoff run. All-Stars gone, and of course golf. You know, we got golf covered. Samson doing well on the showdowns. And I got the main slate going. I think we've had some pretty good weeks. A lot of green screens there this week. Made the right, I guess, fades or moves off. Didn't have him. Had no Billy Ho, although he got there. Usti barely. I think Usti was like 7 over at one point, and hell of a back 9. Either Thursday or Friday to he gets in and makes the cut. But none of those guys really did any damage up there. The burger play was good. Didn't have any Lowry. That's probably one I regret. Not having much of, but outside of that, I really liked how everything went. Cam Young went right back to him. Will this week, no shocker there. Still don't think he's priced up enough this week. He's just playing great in any kind of format. So, I think this week sets up a little bit like last week as far as just style. I don't think we're going to see, a super birdie fest or anything like that. But we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you want to join all this, everything you just heard, big UFC week this week. NASCAR keeps rolling. And of course, API, and then the Players Championship, and then we're month. What are we? I think we're right at 4 or 5 weeks from the Masters. So probably we'll be announcing our March to the Masters promo next week. I will. I'll be announcing it next week, maybe later on this week. Smash gets you 20% off any package, includes a 7-day free trial. I've had several new people join up. Good feedback there. Appreciate that. Rate and review us on iTunes. That'll get you into that big March to the Madness, March to the Masters drawing. As always, subscribe and like this video on YouTube. In the comment section, tell me who you want to fade in the 10K range. See where we're going up top this week. I think I like the 6s this week. There's several plays I like. So you can do a hybrid build or going, if you want to go up to Rory Rahm, something like that. I think it can be done this week, especially in a tournament that's a little bit volatile like last week. Listener League, we're at 400 this week. Let's fill it. I don't know if we'll get, maybe able to get it. If we fill it quick, I'll ask for 500 next week for TPC. So let's get that filled up quick. Like I said, up to 400, so bigger pot. Last week's winner, D-Roy, 1232, 459.5. He actually took first and second. I got fourth in that. I was up there trying to battle, but he had Burger too, but he had Lowry. So as that kept moving on, he had Woodland. Stevenson, Hubbard, Seabez. Great lineup there. Had a good core there. When you see first and second, that's obviously, hopefully he had a big week outside of that, had those in some other contests. And I didn't see what else he had. I hadn't looked yet, but I got a feeling he probably had a big week with those lineups. This week, API, fun tournament, Arnold's tournament. Obviously, he's no longer with us, but that's his invitational. Bay Hill Club in Orlando, Florida. It's an invitational, so kind of like Tigers was. There'll be 120-ish golfers, I think. We knew Bryson withdrew, luckily, before pricing came out, so no dramatic, mispriced stuff because he's not in it. Top 65 in ties still. Par 72, 7,450 yards, a long course, a tough course. 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s. Par 5s are reachable, and a lot of where the scoring is going to be had this week is on those par 5s. Quick, fast Bermuda greens. Fairways should play fast and firm. I think it's been kind of dry there, just kind of like down West Palm Beach. You can kind of look at the winners and see where off the tee can help. Definitely Bryson's approach last year, bombing it everywhere. But I think clubbing down and being in the right spots can help as well. The windier it gets, the more the water comes into play. I talk about that. It's going to be a warm week. No rain really in the forecast at all. Of course, we didn't really have much rain in the forecast for the Honda, and it decided to just unleash on the very last hole yesterday. The wind so far looks like it's going to be picking up as the week goes on. Don't see a wave advantage at the moment, but we could see one. We'll see how that kind of shifts out as we get 48 hours from now. The worst winds right now actually look on Saturday, so I think it's going to play tough on the weekend. Probably see the cut like we normally hear, 2 or 3 over par, similar to last week. You can see it's 4 over sometimes, or you can see even. We've seen some decent scoring here as well. I think the winner is going to be that 9 to 11 under range. I don't think it's going to play the year Hatton won it. I think it was brutal at least the entire weekend, if not most of the week. It just, guys couldn't do anything out there. I don't think it gets that bad, but I don't think it's the 18 under like when Rory won it or Jason Days won at 17. Actually, since 2017, it's really, outside of Rory, 11, 12, 4, and 11. Before that, it was a little bit of a scoring run. You had 17 under, 19 under, but then before that, 13, 13, 13, 8. So you kind of see, around that 10, 11, 12 under is probably what we'll see this week. Some past winners, Bryson, Hatton, Molinari, Rory. I remember that Molinari one. He had I think that's the Sunday that he putted absolutely lights out that week. I don't remember who I had that week, but it hurt me in the outright deal. Like I said, Rory, Leishman, Day, Matt Avery back-to-back. Tigers won here 8 times. Martin Laird, some runner-ups. Westwood, Fitzpatrick, Leishman, Bryson, Hoffman, Chappell, Stinson, Keegan. So a mixed bag of who's kind of performed there. There's not one dominant. I think strength off the tees definitely seems to help for sure. You look at Rory, Bryson, those kind of, obviously Tiger back then. So that's something to keep in mind. Long irons are going to be big here. We'll hear that all week long. Stats I'm looking at: good drive, stroke gain irons, bogey avoidance, opportunities inside 18 feet, accurate approaches, and par 5 DK scoring, as well as recent form, which definitely starts getting elevated for me this time of year. And then course history, which is this is a course where, the history I think does matter some. You'll see it consistently with guys like, Rory, all the guys up in the top of my rankings. A lot of them have always made the cut here. That's not an easy cut to make, all the time. Maybe you'll see guys. Let's see, like Leishman. He missed the cut last year, but before that was 17th, 1st, 7th, 23rd, and 2nd. So can happen, but I do bump the course fit a little bit this week. New to the course since 2016, 28, which seemed like a lot to me in the Invitational, but that's where we're at right now. 28 guys have not played it at all. Salary ranges, we got 5 in the 10K, 6 in the 9K, 10 in the 8K, 31 in the 7K, 65 in the 6K. Obviously, it's an invitational, so no, Monday qualifiers. I don't remember who replaced Bryson. I'll have to look at that. But for now, the field should be set pretty much unless someone withdraws. Same format as always. If you're new, I do the Sweet 16. 3 from each salary range and a bubble boy. Do a fade of the week, sleeper of the week, 4 gut fill plays, betting top 5 that pop and 2 long shots, provided by Monkey Knife Fight. And then we kind of wrap it up and get out of here. Keep it, short and sweet, to the point. 9K and above. I'm gonna start out with M, 9,900. Kind of burned everybody last week. I dodged that bullet. And he hasn't been playing like at his peak before, but maybe a little, I don't want to say rusty. I mean, he didn't play Waste, didn't play AT&T, but got 33rd at the Genesis. It's just I don't put a lot of weight into the miscuts at the Honda because 1 or 2 bad holes can just knock you out. Stat wise, he still looks great. 3rd in bogey avoidance, 1st in opportunities at 18 feet, 1st in accurate approach, 8th in par 5 DK scoring. Last 3 years here, only 3 times he's played. 3rd, 21st. I like the price point, right there teasing you under the 10K range. Be interested on ownership. I think, like I said last week, ownership will drive stuff for me this week. The Billy Ho, Sung Jae, Fleetwood, even Usti, those were all guys that were steaming up the ownership board, and I just kind of faded most of all that, if not all that. So if he's popular again this week with, coming off the burn, and we're kind of, I don't want to say over that, but a lot more people are intelligent with the information to go, it's just one miscut, especially the Honda. So maybe everybody jumps back on at 9,900. That would maybe change me a little bit, but I do like him. Willie Z, going back there, we know that. Only played here once, got a 10th, 26th at the Genesis. Did not play last week. Bermuda's actually, split-wise, probably his best. T to green game, he's one of the best in the field, or best in the, I said world, I guess. He's just so strong there that he's always seems to be in contention. I like that he got a 10th here last year on the first time out. So I'll go back to him all day, especially at that price, 9,400. He'll probably get, popular, but there's some spots I'm willing to move off elsewhere to get out of that chalkiness. Then Rory, I mean, this will be the one I'm interested to see how it develops. Is it going to be Rory, Rahm, a lot of ownership, and then maybe Hovland gets in there. He can be pretty popular and you're saving money, and then it kind of flattens everybody else out. Rory's strength, record here is, impeccable. 27th, 4th, 1st, 6th, 5th, 10th. So not much better than that out there. And yeah, you're paying up for him. I would be paying up for him if I'm going to go up that high over Rahm. Rahm's never played this. Obviously it's Rahm. He's coming in, great form. Putting's been struggling some. That may worry me some this week with super fast greens, some of the fastest on tour. But it's Rahm. He's the number 1 player in the world. He can show up any week and be in contention. I don't know if he's going to remain popular, how much I want to go up there and pay up in the ownership. It's just something I hadn't been doing, and it's worked out okay. He's got a 21st and a 10th, but still, there's ways to win without him, unless he just goes out there and ships it easily, which he can do. We know that, but right now I'm not too high. See the putter start warming up some, and it can in a heartbeat. Maybe he becomes some showdown stuff, but for right now, as long as I believe everybody will still go to him, I think I'll pass on that. And then my bubble boy is Leishman, $9,100. Only reason why he's on the bubble for me is I think he'll be one of the higher owned in the 9K. Another guy, I told you his course history here: 17th, 1st, 7th, 23rd, and 2nd, 15th at the Genesis. Long-term stats aren't, if you start pulling all the long stuff, rolling stats, or you can look at my deep dive later tonight or tomorrow. The shorter you look at him, the better he looks. So I think he's coming in with good form. He's 13th in Bermuda putting, 10th in the course fit, 14th in recent form. Only reason why he's on the bubble is I think he'll be popular for all of those reasons at that price. Now, he is surrounded by Fitzpatrick, who's got tremendous record here, Willie Z, who's always popular, and Adam Scott, $100 cheaper, who's coming in with great form, a 38th and a 4th. So I really think there's going to be some pretty flat out ownership. When I say flat, meaning like small percentages between all of them. They're all going to be very tight. No one's going to be super chalky. We may see Rahm and Rory get up there a little bit, but I don't think we'll have too many people over 20% in total, really. 8K range for me, I'm going to go Mitchell, 8,100, playing outside when he won the Honda, maybe the best he's played ever. A 12th, a 10th, a 9th. His record here, a 6th, a 5th, and a 43rd. So good record here. He's coming in great form, a lot of confidence. He played great last week, obviously at 9th, finished strong on Sunday. He's second in good drives, 26th in par 5 DK scoring, 31st in irons, and 34th in bogey avoidance. So, 29th opportunities inside 18 feet. I like everything about him. On Bermuda, I'll go with some Keith Mitchell this week, 8,100. Could be popular. I'll give you that. Kokrak, 8,400. Good record here as well. 20th, 56th, miscut, and then the 10th, 18th, and 8th. So the more he plays, it looks like the better. He got a 26 at the Genesis, took off last week. 9th in good drives, 21st in opportunities inside 18 feet, 18th in accurate approach. I could see him kind of being a little under the radar here. We know he's strong off the tee at times. We know that putter can heat up. 24th in Bermuda putting. So I like Kokrak this week. I like everything about him. Garcia wasn't one. I don't think he'll be popular. Wait, he may get some talk, but I don't think he'll get up there too much. He's 81 as well. Hasn't played here at least since 2016. He may have played before that. 39th 2 weeks ago. Had a decent run at the Euro, overseas to start the year as well. 16th in par 5 DK scoring, 7th in good drives. I like the price because and also like Sergio and in general guys that may not be able to fill it up with the putter where I think a 9 under could win this. Like kind of like Honda last week, right? The guys don't have to like make a ton of birdies to stay in this thing, and that bodes well for a guy like Garcia. So I like him, $8,100. Bubble boy here is Paul Casey. Only reason, same as it's going to be a theme, same as Leishman. I think he'll be popular. He's always kind of a DFS darling at times. He gets steamed up a lot. A 9th, a 41st, then took 3 years off, came back, got a 10th last year, a 15th 2 weeks ago. So looks to be in good form. 12th in par 5 DK scoring, 5th in accurate approach, 15th in irons, 28th in bogey avoidance, 39th good drives, 39th opportunities inside 18 feet. So tremendous stats, 10th overall, 7th on the course fit deal, 28th Bermuda putting. There's not anything to not like about him. The reason why he's on the bubble is I do think he'll be one of the most popular plays of the entire week at $8,300. Not only this range, but all ranges really. I think he'll be up there in top 3 probably by the time we get to Wednesday. 7K range, kicking off with Cam Young. And I like a lot of these plays in the 6 and 7, really. I think there's some good upside, a smaller field. Theoretically, we talk about you can have a higher 6-6 percentage, but I think 2 weeks ago at the Genesis, it was still only like 10% or so. You get 1 or 2 chalky pieces of bust, and that didn't hold up. I'm going to stick with him. Man, he's just playing so good. I'm not going to say he's on the Willie Z level for me yet, but man, is he close to one of my top guys to watch. I enjoy watching him. Loved him battling back on Sunday, getting a 5 under round, finished 16th. He started off, he was one of the first ones to go out Sunday morning, go from +5 to even. And by the end of the day, that even kept getting better and better and better to a top 16 deal. So that's good stuff. He was in my second one and done. I also had Berger, so both of his was good because at the beginning of the day I was like, 40th or 50th, goes up to 16th. Berger not so much. He drops from first to fourth. Still good payout, but a little bit of a heartbreak there. 26th, second, and 16th the last 3 weeks. He's similar to where Willie Z was a year or so ago, where he hadn't seen the course, but he keeps playing these courses that aren't easy. You go second at Genesis and 16th at Honda, 2 more, somewhat tough courses. And this one's going to be up there at difficulty as well. So I like it. First in good drives, 6th in par 5 DK scoring, 19th in bogey avoidance, 14th on Bermuda putting. I know limited stats there, but he does like putting on the Bermuda, and struggled some putting last week a little bit. So price, I love him. Is he finally going to be up there like super high owned? We'll see. He could be up there, top 5, top 8 in ownership. I don't know how many people are going to keep going or keep ignoring what he's been doing. I'm not. He'll be one of the guys I'll go heavy on and just get different elsewhere. Chris Kirk, 7,500. Solid, really solid history here. I do like that Kirk's right there at that price because it may take some ownership off of Young, or they can take off of each other. 12th, a miscut, a 13th, a 15th, and an 8th. So tremendous history here. Coming in good form, a 14th at Waste Management, a 7th at the Honda. And that's with kind of blowing up there at the end at the Honda. I think he tripled something. I think maybe tripled 15 or something like that. Went from -6 to -2 real quick there towards the end, but still 7th. That's good. Missed the cut at the Pebble, but not, that was 3 tournaments ago. Just pointing that out. Struggles on the par 5 DK scoring. That's probably one negative. Loves Bermuda putting, top 23 there. 7th in bogey avoidance, 7th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 20th in stroke gain irons. He just likes his course, likes this kind of style. Has done well at TPC as also. Definitely did well last week at Honda. I'll stick with him. $7,500 is a good price. Lento Griffin, a 36 and a 21st, his first two times here. I like that. Coming in some pretty good form. A 16th at Pebble, a 39th at Genesis. Stats are middle average, nothing pops out, but really playing good golf as of late. Had likes his course, 29th in stroke gain irons. Enough there for me. And he's 18th in Bermuda putting. We know he can line it up. The price is down at 71, where, a lot more. Just make a cut here. Do what you've done the last 2 years. A 36, a 21st, something in that. Certainly will be there. It has some potential come Sunday. So I like that a lot at $7,100. And my bubble boy is Keegan. I like Keegan a lot in this, how everything sets up. I hardly ever play him. So that's why I got him in the bubble boy. He can, we've seen it. He can go full Keegan at any point in time. Great history here. 6 straight made cuts, 36, 34, 26, 46, 42nd, and 10th. So at $7,300, most of those years is going to be great for him. Give me a made cut and let you flirt with the top 10, top 20. That's good at that price. I don't know if he'll get ownership or not. We know Tee to Green's, great. He actually rates out a little bit better on Bermuda, although we know putting's his biggest struggle. 25th in good drive, 22nd, 13th, 8th, 8th in the other categories. His worst stat is par 5 DK scoring. So overall, with the price and his upside and his history here, I like him a lot. We'll see if he gets popular and if I can stomach, putting Keegan in the lineup this week. 6K range, I think there's some, I don't say solid, but some good upside, lower price guys this week that really makes how you want to build, pretty much however you want to do it. I don't know if you can go like Rory, but, you could start Rory. Maybe you go Rory Hovland. That's maybe I hadn't done any of the building or even got to that point yet, but you can certainly get like a Rory Sung Jae, Rory Willie Z or Rom Willie Z with some of these 6Ks that I think you can take chances on this week. First one for me is Hostler, playing great. We talked about it last week. A lot you can tell he's thinned out some, gotten maybe in better shape. Good history here. Never missed a cut. A 66, a 58th, and a 24th. $6,700. You'll take that all and make me a cut and give me some chance. He's playing great. A 16th last week, a 48th at Genesis, missed a cut at the Waste, but then a 3rd at Pebble before that. We know he can get, he's hot or cold with the putter at times, but he can get hot. Stat wise, he's 9th in the field for me overall. 13th in good drives, 9th in bogey avoidance, 16th in an accurate approach, and 10th at par 5 DK. Didn't think I would see that when you start pulling it. He's definitely playing, I don't know if it's his best ever, but he really is looking good and finished good on Sunday to get a 16th. So $6,700, I like Hostler. CH3, Charles Howe, not done great lately. Miscut the last 2. But pretty good history here. $6,400 for Charles Howe III. Seems like a steal, but a 46, a 56, a 14th, a 15th, a miscut, and that 2020 year. Remember 2020 was the year that, so if you're doing course fit or course history, and on our tool, you can go in there, you can uncheck 2020 if you just don't want to include it, because it kind of can skew things off of how tough it played. But that's the only time he missed the cut here in the last 6 years. A 36 last year. Again, I know he's not coming in the best form, but for that price, you can, especially MME wise, $6,400, make a cut. You got all the upside in the world there. So, and decent putter. So I don't hate that at all. Smalley, I'll go back to him. Talked about him last week. Played him last week. He was in my 6 of 6. Just didn't get much going on the weekend. Was there? He grinds. I talked about it a lot. We're here again this week. You're gonna have to grind out, and that's what I like about him. 15th in accurate approach, 16th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 32nd in good drives, 35th in Bermuda putting. He's got enough stats now that we can say this pretty decent sample size. Still a young buck on the tour, but 6,400 again. I like that. I don't mind playing him. He can flirt with a 1 to 3 max and definitely be in the discussion for MME. Davis Riley was the doc of the week last week. Did okay. 42nd, made the cut. again, just didn't get a lot going on the weekend. 49th at the Pebble, has not played here. Stat-wise, he's above average, way above average. Top third in the field overall. 18th in good drive, 21st in accurate approach, but $6,200. Like, he's 29th in putting on Bermuda. I know limited size, but that price, I seen enough. That's more of an eye test play that I don't mind playing him. Bubble Boy only because he's just okay. He's 90th in par 5 DK scoring, 92nd in stroke gain iron. That worries me a little. He'll be a deep dive guy that I go look at. Okay, is it more around the green? How's his approach? When we look at it, see how he's done. He's 21st in accurate approach, so it tells me his around the green game could struggle. So I want to see what he did last week at that Bermuda at the Honda. I'll kind of look at that as a core. But at $6,200, like if you like the guy and it's a play, you're just playing him, because if he makes the cut, you're graded from there, and hopefully, I mean, he gets a 42nd again. Is that the best? No, not necessarily. But if you get a low 6-6 or something, and he's there at $6,200, and what it allows to pair with you, it may be enough. So I definitely like him. Just a couple of those stats that had me worried. I had him as the bubble boy, but at that price, it's not too big of a deal. Fade of the week for me is Rahm. I'm not going to go back to Rahm yet. It's just show me before I'm going to. Probably the highest owned, one of the top 3 highest owned I would project, and he's the highest priced. There's other plays here that I like just as much, especially Rory, who has a history here, and I don't mind going down and say I want 1 or 2 of these 6K guys, and I put 3 9K guys together, a Sung Jae, Willie Z, them coming. I mean, so many options there, Leishman or Scott, we talked about earlier. If you don't want to go the 10K route. Certainly viable. We might even talk about Scheffler or Matsu yet. Like both of them, they're both in my top 10 rankings. Matsu has solid history, and he's made 6 straight haircuts. He's got a 6th and an 18th, but he's also had like 45th, 49th, 56th. So a little bit of a hit or miss. Coming in pretty good, 8th at Waste and 39th at Genesis. Obviously Scheffler coming in on fire, a 1st at Waste, 7th at Genesis, 15th there 2 years ago, and that's when it was tough. So he's a guy, I don't mind getting to and saving $800 from Rahm. So nothing against Rahm. If for some reason like that's the narrative everywhere, and I'm going to get a lower on Rahm, now we're going to talk about something come Wednesday. Because my biggest reason for him is I think he'll be one of the top 3 owned, and he's the most money. Sleeper of the week, I like Hodges. I watched him a lot last week. Obviously, we've played him in the past. $6,600. I don't think he's going to get talked up too much. 3rd in par 5 DK scoring, 28th in irons, a 39th at Genesis, a 9th at Honda, 2 tough tracks. Obviously, we know Genesis played tough. I just think Neiman was on a different level for most of the week, but $600 probably going to be in that. I think maybe 5% less. I don't know. I can adjust that Wednesday if he is a popular guy, but he's a guy I like this week for kind of a sleeper of the week play as of now. Of course, I'll Wednesday when I do the deep dive and final thoughts, I'll adjust there as needed. Gut feel plays of the week for me, Thigali. I like the kid in general. Who doesn't? Maybe he took last week off, but I still think he'll get talked up this week. 7,000, maybe push a little bit off. The 3rd at the Waste Management, backed it up with the 48th at Genesis. He's 20th in Bermuda putting. I know that's limited stats, but that's good. 5th in par 5 DK. I like that. He's got enough upside there. There's some stats he's not, 102nd in accurate approach. So there are some things that make it a little nervous. But 7,000, as long as he's not super chalky, I don't mind playing him. Poulter, a guy I'd never hardly play. Tremendous history here. Where's he? 46, 41st, 41st, 23rd, 32nd, 26th. When I say tremendous, he has 6 straight make cuts. All top 40s or better, but $7,200. So, I mean, if you get that upside, he got 30th last week. And that's with that. He had a horrible start. I can't remember what morning. Was it Sunday morning or Saturday? But, terrible start, but still finished top 30 overall. So, like that, he likes this place. Good price. Higo, I'll go back to him this week. Played him last week. There he is. Made the cut, didn't do much. Struggled on Sunday. He was one that had a bad Sunday. 66th, though. But most of him and Young went the opposite way. I think he shot like 5 or 6, maybe worse, over on Sunday. So bad Sunday, but a good week outside of that. Not going to put a whole lot of stock into that. 21st at the Waste Management. He has not played here. 10th in good drives, 20th in par 5 DK scoring, 52nd in Bermuda putting, which isn't great, but it's above average on the field. $6,700. I don't mind having some of that. And then Ortiz. We've been playing Ortiz this new part of the season quite a bit. 33rd at Waste Management, 39th at the Genesis, 29th here in 2019. He did miss a cut in that brutal year of 2020. 15th in Bermuda putting. So if he starts lighting it up, we know he can go low. $6,900. I love that price. Definitely viable for MMEs this week. Maybe work into a core type play. Top 5 the pop and 2 long shots. Monkey knife fight. Click the link in the description. Use the code GUPS, GUPS. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. Top 5 to pop for me. Sungjae, Willie Z. Sungjae's 28-ish. Some of these are floating around, especially after letting the thing settle after Bryson withdrew. Willie Z, 28 to 30. Cam Young, 66 to 75. Mav McNeely, a guy that just couldn't fit in up top. I do like him this week though. $7,800, but he's 66 to 1 around that. And then Kirk, 80 to 1. I like that price for him. He's had 4 top 15s here in the last 6 years. Only 1 miscut, coming in off a 7th and a 14th, was right there really for a lot of the tournament. Just blew up a little bit late and still finished 7th. So I like Kirk. 2 long shots. I like Nick Taylor. He played well Sunday. He was on my showdown team that was doing really, really good. Got up to 2nd, and then I had Berger, so that did not go too well. And I don't normally take the chalk on that Sunday deal, but I definitely, again, I thought going to be hard scoring. If he just shoots 1 under and he's getting 3 birdies for the finishing spots at first, that's a lot of birdies in that tournament. So, probably overthought that. Should have pivoted. I did like Lowry. I just went with Berger on Sunday. But Taylor, like I mentioned, he 16th. He finished the Honda at 16th. I think he shot 3 or so, maybe 4 under on Sunday. A great Sunday. A 14th at AT&T. Like him in general. 150 to 1 is a good price, and then Higo 150 to 1 are my 2 long shots. I will have my top 5 one and dones out Wednesday on the Cup with Gut pod, and then I'll take 3 from there like I always do. And then join us Wednesday. I think I'll get Kenny Kim back probably a little bit later. Do the E9 certainly for next week for the players. I think he said he can do API this week. We'll see. If not, I may go solo. Don't forget Smash 20% off. 7-day free trial. We got the March to the Masters coming up. Gonna have some fun stuff for that, like we always do. Did re-sign with Underdog. I told you. I think I said that on Wednesday's Cup with Gup. But so we got their match. They got all kinds of stuff going on. They are looking to revamp. They are revamping their golf product and hope to have it out for sure by the Masters. They talked about maybe TPC, but they for sure will have it launched back for the Masters. It's a dollar for dollar match up to $100. They got some NFL best balls going if you want to flirt around with that. Of course, all UFC, NASCAR, all that stuff. And I will hopefully have another announcement by Wednesday, joining another affiliate with us. So stay tuned for that. Have a blessed Monday evening. Have a good week. This is going to be another great week for us. Looking forward to it. And we'll talk to you Wednesday. Thanks.